Ooh, welcome back, always forward media family members, mafia members, to another episode of another fucking Monday AFM. Little show we do on the side to talk about things bigger than my foolishness on everywhere else. It's always an open place to come have conversations that, sometimes there's better delivery people than myself or others. So this is what another fucking Monday is about. So we have Arielle back.
Speaking into the mic this time because I wasn't really good with that last time.
I mean, you was in a different position, so
Was
a position that's better suited for your natural born talents. So now you just can just do you, and I don't have to say nothing over and over again.
Got it.
But we're here is about you, so we're going to open up. Just let us know what's been going on, and this we just learned along this journey. So start the top and get us where we got to go to.
All right, all the way from the tip top.
From the top to the bottom. Let's go.
Yeah, it's Friday. I'm just making it's Friday, and I've been up trying to figure things out. But I have returned to St. Louis on yesterday from a very somber, a couple of somber events that occurred in my hometown of New Orleans. That's where I'm originally from. I don't live here permanently in St. Louis. I am traveling for work, and that's what brought me here. But all of my family, my loved ones, they're back home in our hometown of New Orleans, Louisiana. And over the course of the past 3 weeks, I've had 3 deaths happen in my family. The first one was a 12-year-old family member of mine. She was murdered by a stray bullet.
Damn.
At a graduation party.
Oh my.
Yep. And so that happened the Sunday, Memorial Day Sunday, right? 7 days later, on the following Sunday, my 34-year-old cousin and my 7-month-old godson was murdered by my cousin's ex-boyfriend and my godson's father. So a domestic violence situation that became fatal for the 2 of my family members, and then finally himself, because he ended up killing himself.
In a murder-suicide.
That's right. So that's what we're dealing with. That's with the South, this algorithm that I myself have contributed to. My family's pretty big. They range from areas Atlanta, Salt Lake City, Utah, the Valley, California way, LA way, all out that way. They everywhere. So if anyone is connected to these people or someone that they're connected to, and that's how the algorithms roll, we just kind of catching these vibes everywhere, and it doesn't make too much sense to me. But when I sit down and resonate with it, it's something that's bigger than just the loss of their lives.
So you mean the vibe, like the energy of hopelessness, despair,
definitely.
lack of ways out? Because Corona put a lot of shit in perspective. If you wasn't already there, if you didn't catch the perspective from 2008, when it was more financial virus that set people back, we got we got one that was engineered and made around as something that it not only got everybody. That was 2008 was a financial one, mostly hurt. It was a global thing, but it was still financial stuff, which hurts. But like, we had financial and people died.
Right.
And then, so if you wasn't doing well or had too much on your plate before,
right,
that was not for making no better. Because especially if you didn't have this, if you're not familiar with the needing of human beings having ability to be aware of their human nature and everything that goes into it. A lot of people make nothing. A lot of people I see so much, especially in St. Louis. A lot of people make something out of nothing. Like, I'm like, this is what you arguing about. This is where you giving your energy to. This everything ain't something.
But exactly what you said, what you're giving your energy to. We don't, we're not necessarily conscious of it, So, we go to work, we feed ourselves, and right now I can relate because when I made it back in town on yesterday, I walked through the airport and I was like, I don't remember when the last time I was here. Like, I didn't remember leaving. I didn't remember going to the airport, but that's how I made it to New Orleans. And when I was walking through the airport, I was like, kind of messed up. Like, I don't remember this. I was just here 7 days ago and I don't remember the airport. And I started taking into account, like, okay, so you need to do a physical check. You need to check in like a full body scan. Where are your limbs? Like, the morning that I received this news, very, very hard. It hit me very hard because what basically happened was my aunt, which is my cousin's mom, calls me and says, she didn't even answer. She didn't call. Her husband called. So he gets on the phone. He goes, Irie, but I hear it already in his voice. It's 6 a.m. our time here. It's 6 a.m. Louisiana time.
Right, we're in the same time zone.
She tells me, well, my uncle tells me, they're crying, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, Kelly's gone. So that's my cousin's name, Kelly Gabrielle Mornay, 34 years old. He told me that she was gone, and so I go, okay. And then my aunt grabs the phone, and she gets on the phone, and she tells me, nobody knows this. Her dad, which is he's not really into politics, but he was into law enforcement for a while back in the city. He didn't know, neither did her grandmother know. And the thing about our family is because we're so big, by the time one person catch on, the cousins in California are going to be calling us in about 30 minutes. So I couldn't say anything to anybody. Is now, in order for people to know this information, we have to inform her father. We can't let him find out any other way besides it coming from her mom.
Right.
So she says, I need you to get his number. This is the true story. I told this story to my cousin's son. He's 15, our oldest boy. And he told me after things, maybe a few days after when we first spoke, he's like, you know what? My mom is touching people. She's touching 15 years old. He's like, she's touching people's lives right now and they don't even know it. She's affecting people. And I was like, let me tell you how she affected my life. Less than 3 hours, from her, she was not dead. 3 hours. And my aunt needed to get in touch with her dad. Well, I had a little vendetta against one of our blood cousins, right? Like a little situation. It was one of those things where, you know what, I'm not beefing with you, but I don't want to talk to you.
I'm not messing with you, yeah.
I don't never care to maybe talk to you. It doesn't matter. Nothing mattered.
Right.
And it been going on for about 8 years almost 9 years. And in less than 3 hours, Kelly got one of her wishes. Like, she wanted me and her to talk so bad. And that morning, the only person who I knew had a number was this cousin.
Yeah.
Well, this cousin lived way in Los Angeles. To the point where I had to tell her son, I don't even have her number. I had to call my best friend at 4 a.m. LA time to say, I need this number. And my best friend answered and my cousin answered. And from about 6:30 a.m. to like maybe 9:30, 10 a.m., I was just kind of on this plain level. It was like real plain. I knew that my cousin was gone. And her baby, which is my godson, was being rushed to a trauma facility because his injuries were too far and they needed to be seen by specialists, by trauma specialists. And they were in Gulfport, Mississippi. This is where this occurred. Well, the nearest trauma facility was in Alabama. And that's a little ride a ways away.
Were they in helicopter to and fro?
I'm sure.
I would have to, something like that. You can, the times of the essence, you have to fire up the chopper.
Well, I was giving my aunt some space and some time because she had already contacted my uncle to inform him of what happened. And in the middle of this 6:30 a.m. time frame till about 9:45 a.m., I didn't call. I was kind of like holding on to a string, waiting on him to pull through because that was my aunt was like, Kelly's gone, but Brooks has gone to a trauma facility in Alabama. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready to either get in a car and go meet my godson at this trauma facility. I was ready for this next, like, okay, so what do I got to do next? What's next for me? And like 9:45, I was like, okay, things are too quiet. And I called my aunt and she had her sister on the phone, and her sister goes, I was like, well, who's going? Everybody's in Gulfport. What? Everybody in Gulfport? Who's in Alabama? Who's with the baby?
Yeah.
And she told me he didn't make it. So from that moment on till I don't think the feeling has ever really gone away. It's been about 13 days now, and I just kind of feel like it's replaying. My mornings are so hard for me to get up. I could be up for like 5 hours and not move out the bed. But after I got news, like I think hearing that he had a chance, it kind of pulled me through for a long time. Like at least those 3 hours for sure.
Yeah.
And then once I got that information, it was like I just felt broken. I felt like literally someone had stolen like
life out of you.
Yeah, it felt like it was taken, but
a stolen opportunity almost. Like when babies pass away for any reason, us as human beings, it's not even about nothing high level. We see smaller versions of us, no matter how you define us, and the family as another opportunity to do better than what you did, because we fucking up. But you know, hopefully we did a little bit better than the previous round of things. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, that shit heavy. It's heavy in the streets.
Yeah. But I think I'm super serious when it comes to a lot of stuff. Like, I don't know how people perceive me, but
you can't worry about that. Like, what I've learned about this medium or this in general, like you gotta put your best intentions forward and be okay with the consequences.
Cool.
This is the rule of 10. Was it 4 gonna like it, 4 not gonna like it, and 3 ain't gonna know. So it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you win one, that's was worth is a million. You know what I'm saying?
And
so
I'm good with that too.
Yeah, it can't, if I cared about motherfuckers start when shit get done, and I do a lot of shit a lot of times. Okay, so you gotta know what you're doing is the right thing. You can explain it to make it make sense. So just do it for the sake of like I just do shit.
Right.
Either you like it or you love it. It don't stop from doing shit because somebody somewhere at some point gonna appreciate something that was I've said or someone said by giving the opportunity to do what needs to be done.
Right. I appreciate that you saying that because it in the midst of all of the ideas and the main focal point, I don't think there's really one main thing to focus on when we talk about stopping domestic violence and even mental illness, because it's a very vast subject. And every matter is just as holds as much weight as the next one to me when I think about it, because these are all things that should be addressed. But a couple of years ago, this like this word used to, like, this catchphrase, like red flags, right?
Oh yeah. This is my thing. Even before I had a microphone and whatever this is, when my girlfriends would always talk to me about these guys, I say, so y'all gonna actually ignore these red flags? So you think I'm gonna actively ignore signs and say, you know what, this ain't it, because it doesn't get better; it only gets worse.
Right.
So anything that you say, anything that she would come off as rude or like that would catch something like if I was out on a date and she talked to somebody crazy, I'm like, no, that's not gonna work. Because I'm gonna say, what was that? I'm not gonna be like, oh, she bad though. No, fuck that bad shit.
Right.
That's some bullshit.
Right.
Like, nah, that's about here, buddy.
Right.
Because it won't get better if you're doing it at this level. It's gonna continue. Like, look, like stuff for my nephew. Buddy, we ain't gonna do that. He hot. You better reread, motherfucker, whatever that song is.
I'm not playing with it.
But luckily, my sister has that intention. But I already had my plan in order. I said, when he with me, he gonna act like he gonna be held accountable. I'm not playing that shit. But that's why they don't give me very much. You know, I play that shit. But she doing her part. So you have to give them the grace and understanding and the chance to make things better. Because maybe you're saving them from some shit they can't get out of. Don't make an emotional decision of a temporary, what's that, permanent decision of a temporary emotion. It ain't worth it. Everything ain't something.
Right.
And so save your something when some shit is something. So you can perform accordingly.
Right.
And know how to be calm in the chaos. Because life as a whole, life starts in chaos. Fucking is chaos. Creating baby is chaos. It's all a contact sport. But also you need time to sit your ass down and realize, damn, even NFL, they watch game tape. And they sit down and reflect on what happened the next day. Right. And emotional scars a lot longer than physical scars. I could beat the shit out of you, but if I fucking your head up, you ain't leaving again. That shit will heal up. But if I got your mind, I pretty much got your body. That's how it works in any relationship. Right. But if you don't take time to heal from the last motherfucker to make you feel some way, you ain't ready for the next motherfucker because you still bleeding. Don't bleed on somebody that didn't cut you. Right. A lot of people bleed on people that didn't cut them, and now we just motherfucker bloody ass mess.
So, it's important that I do this, not just for myself and for my family who's mourning at the current times, like the new generation, but 10 years ago, is it 10 years ago? 2000? No, that's 21 years.
Ma'am.
It's been 21 years.
Yeah, we on a twanky.
21 years ago, I had a 32-year-old cousin 21 years ago. She be 21 plus 32 right now. She was murdered at the same way. Domestic violence and a boyfriend, right? And like both of these situations 21 years ago, maybe my cousin was 15 at the time. He witnessed everything. And right now, my 10-year-old cousin, who he witnessed everything. So fast forward, 21 years now, this is history replaying itself in my family, like in my lineage, in my blood, like for me to see it, so it's a problem for me. You like to all my elders and everything like that, they should know, like it's a problem for me,
Yeah. You like, damn, we're here again. We didn't learn nothing from the last one,
right?
That no one catch, but we once again something in our humanity, or maybe it's our socialization, so many different factors in what I'm trying to put a conclusion to, but so much goes unaddressed. So much goes
I don't like rugs and I don't like sweeping.
right. Like if it's a problem, that's get rectified and it's being held accountable. Right. We can't give out passes. I feel a lot of women give out the wrong niggas bail. Like, let the niggas stay in jail. Like, I'm just saying, like, not actually, like, socially. Like, don't give no passes. That's bad behavior. You cannot reward bad behavior because it will continue. We're human beings.
Right.
So respect him and humanity and hold him accountable to make him better. Not to make the situation better, which you hope it does, but this accountability will help him maybe next time not do it again, or get to a point where you can't be around nobody because they will not allow you to steal from them, and that's their peace and joy.
Right.
You gotta let people go too. Let them hold on to the wrong thing.
Right. So I'm gonna take my accountability. I will, because I feel like not just myself, but we kind of all had something. We all had something to do. Everybody's hand was in the pot when it came to this, because as much as I called her my sister and my baby and my cousin, like I did know what was happening. You know what I'm saying? Behind closed doors in some senses. And no, she didn't tell me everything, because it's like some stories I'm like, wait, we talked about everything. Like I didn't know that. But those red flags, those things that just don't sound right, those things that we just know is not right. So
you gotta know your worth. You gotta be like in negotiations. This relationship, every relationship is negotiation. So if something in the terms you don't like, you gotta be willing to walk away. That's how negotiation works. It's just anything. Like, okay, you do some shit I don't want to do. Well, I'm gonna go home. You be like, damn, maybe this shit is stupid if he don't want to do it. That's I'm holding you accountable to hold myself accountable.
Right.
I'm not gonna bend because, ooh, baby, I said what I said. I meant it. Now you continue. I'm going to go on. I'm prepared to walk away. But that's how negotiations work. So it makes both people better. Everyone just falls in line, keep letting red flags turn motherfucking red banners and red motherfucking sails, and
now we painting the Red Sea.
Right, we in the Red Sea. Why are we here? And I love me some red, but red flags I don't. Right. Not gonna work.
So maybe all of this umbrella, I don't know what's falling under where the umbrella is. Because in the midst of all of these things and me going back and revisiting the past and, saying like, why didn't my family put more emphasis on this? Why are we dealing with this yet again? And why at this point today, it's been 14, 13 days, like, why is it kind of still, no, let's add some light to the situation. A week before this senseless murder happened, there was a domestic situation that occurred at my cousin's house. How long had they been together? Almost 3 years.
And they have any kids together?
The youngest took him. Yeah.
Okay. So you knowing her clearly, what would you have said the first red flag that you was aware of, and then how was that handled?
All right. So I worked in the bar industry for quite a while.
Yeah.
So my career before medical field was bar and family, so I had a car accident, and the car accident gave me an injury. I was living in New York at the time, and I had to relocate back to New Orleans. that was one of the hardest things for me to do because I never thought I'd be going back to New Orleans once I made it to New York, to be
real. You
was
free. That's freedom.
Right.
You made it off the plantation. You was outside.
Well, my cousin just relocated from Salt Lake City. She was living on the coast of Biloxi, Gulfport, Mississippi area.
Yeah.
She would always, that's my big sister, you know, she come on down here. I'm gonna say, you know, so all right, I'm coming to Gulfport and I don't have no car. Everything is weird and crazy and we're almost in the country because I'm a city girl. I'm from New Orleans, the city of New Orleans. So to be in Gulfport and all this, they got accent and twangs and all this, and I'm just kind of like looking at everybody like, hi, you know.
Howdy partner.
That's what's going on out here in the country.
Hey, dudes, oh shit.
She picked me up one weekend, but at the time I was dealing with a lot of PTSD. And my PTSD was born and raised in New Orleans. Mardi Gras comes every year like clockwork. The season is going to be one thing the same way all the time. Crowds of people, possibility of fights, gunshots, anything like that. And I've been raised that way my whole life. So it's funny. It's not funny because that's trauma. For me to be a young woman, a young lady, and look at life.
That shouldn't be comfort. You shouldn't find that as a normality. I'm expecting this. That's chaos and mayhem. That shouldn't be an expected thing.
And the PTSD was that if I were to go to a Mardi Gras parade and there was a fight, because that was common, or there was gunshots, that was common, I wouldn't be able to run or jump or protect myself. Or if I had to fight somebody, I couldn't use my legs to kick them because I'm kicking you when y'all get you down. So and that's a problem. I'm just going ahead and bear it all because that's how that's what I always thought. Like fighting when it came to protecting myself, it was one. So and it's crazy that that's been instilled in me, and I never really took heed to it.
That's survival tactics.
Yeah,
those are thriving tactics. You can't thrive on that, but you can survive. And then a lot of people get stuck in the survival mode when it's time to thrive, and they still doing survival. They have a survival thought process like, hey, bruh, we not there no more, but I don't know. I just got here. I've been surviving, but now I've got to an opportunity where I'm able to thrive, but I can't release those survival ways because it's so embedded in me. But holding on and not trying to evolve will get you back there to survival.
But I was aware of it. I noticed that was the issue, and I verbalized that to her. I said, you know what, sis? I remember crying to her like, man, you know what? Like if something happens, and this thing, I'm serious. I was crying to her like, if something happened to me, I cannot protect myself.
Right.
And I don't want to be put in those positions. So I don't mind being in old country Gulfport. Send me near the beach. I didn't mind the bay, you know, because it was a different atmosphere and environment from New Orleans.
Different speed, yeah.
So I was out there with her. My plan was to be out there for like 2 weeks. Man, so I met the guy. They were neighbors, you know. So like, let me go ahead and just put this in the mix. When they met, she was his upstairs neighbor. He was her downstairs neighbor. I'm talking on the phone with her and I'm kind of getting little hints and red flags. I'm like, what? He did what? He did. Girl, you got to leave him alone. Like, because you get it. He your neighbor. He always know where you live. You can't do that.
It's like fucking where you work at. It don't work out. I mean, at least not in the same apartment. Maybe if y'all work, I don't know. So it depends, but I normally would stay away. Just a general thing. Like, I'm not finna mess about in my building because it's gonna go left and you gonna have to see me.
Even if you wasn't doing nothing, you can't even do nothing.
Yeah, you can't. You gonna see me. You gonna be mad. Like, I don't want that. I don't want to put you through this. I don't want you put through this. Sometimes it's better off not to do everything.
Right. So, red flag was her giving me the verbal over the phone. I make it out there. I'm out there for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden. I caught a vibe. I was like, like him. But I always knew, and I never, you know, like I don't have to verbalize that to him because this my people. So I'm gonna let you know, look, I don't like your people.
Yeah, I'm making my vote. I vote against him.
So right around the time that I was casting the ballot, ready to drop it in the box, they had a physical fight.
Yes, that's it.
I was right there, and look, I'm gonna be real. I went off on her. I be trying to hold my. I want to be. You know, I pray for it to be softened. You know, like I don't want to be so. But I'm talking about. I must have screamed to the top of my lungs, and I told my cousin, "Why the cursing at her? Why would you bring me out here? Why would you have me out here? I told you I can't do nothing. Because look, I was going like." it was gonna be. He was gonna have to fight both of us. Like, you know. And then I'm over here limping like, I told you.
Right.
Why would you have me here?
All I wanted was peace. And what did you do? Bring some chaos.
And you know what? She cried. No, really, to be real with you, to continue with the story, the instance of being around him, just the vibe already, what I was feeling from him wasn't, it was kind of like, I won't even look at you too long to figure you out because I'm not feeling the whole, makeup of you.
Yeah.
And I expressed it. I must have expressed it so much to the point where I stopped saying it. And like the past couple of months, she would be like, "Oh, I just want to let you know he's coming over." So like, I wasn't even saying it no more. She was just like, "I just want to let you know he about to walk in the door." You know, and
that's the point. If you have to do that, then maybe I shouldn't be with you. If I have to do that, then one of us, maybe you shouldn't be in my life. I'm not going to put I'm only putting pieces into my life at that level of vulnerability that fits seamlessly. I'm not going to be, if we kicking it and my friends don't like you, then maybe something's I'm missing.
But on this mic, I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm up to better things. I'm only doing shit that's going to make me elevate for real. You know, and she was really on that level because like I said, a week before the incident that took her life, they had a fight. The police were called and he took her. It was to the point where the fight was, who was in the house? He was there. The 7-month-old baby was there. My 10-year-old cousin was there and she was there. The past 2 fights, including that one, my 10-year-old cousin who witnessed the murder, witnessed the fights.
Oh, man.
And the fight before this, before the police was called, I was like, well, what happened? She's like, Dio, that's his name. Giovanni. Dio came into the room and he's just staring and crying. He's 10 years old. And she was like, he even looked up and he just never stopped. Like fighting her.
Yeah.
It's to the point where I kind of feel like she gave up a lot in the end. Because
sometimes we get tired of fighting. Mostly we get tired of fighting ourselves. Like if we can't win ourselves over, we have no chance for the world. If we can't love ourselves, there's no way the world will ever.
But the biggest thing was when this happened, they had the last fight 7 days before the murder occurred, and the police were called. She called the police, number one, because in order for her to get away from the fight, she had to leave. Like, I was like, get in the car. Get in the car. I keep telling you, like, don't even let him in the house type. Get in the car. And that was what it was becoming. But let me go ahead and focus on this as well. Ladies, and men, because ladies not the only ones victim of domestic violence. Like,
Not at all.
She was wise to the point where she wouldn't even let him keep a bag at her house. They live separately. Right. So she knew that if something was to happen and she called the police and he have stuff there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. She knew that much. She wouldn't let him keep nothing at the house. And they live separately. And in order for her to get away from that last fight, she had to wreck her Cadillac. Like backing out the driveway. I just wrecked the car to get away. She left him with the baby. Energy. So much energy. He had the baby the whole time they was fighting. So basically, like, he dragged on her, doing whatever he doing to her, holding their 7-month-old child. And she called the police because when she left, she got far enough to see him. And she saw him drive away. So now she's like, he took the baby. So now I gotta call the police.
Right.
She calls the police. They coming to meet her. She's got him on the phone. He keep calling back. He calling back saying, I'm going to beat the hell out you every time. But this is, go ahead to the mental illness part, like how real it is. Because now the police, he didn't call back 3-4 times telling her threats. Now the police grab the phone and say, Mr. Such and such. You know what? I won't say his name. It's been I haven't said his name. You know what?
You don't got to. You don't need that for this story to be good. Keep going. You don't got to give him none of that.
Yeah, you're right. Because this is right.
Don't even dirty your mouth.
Whew.
Don't you dirty that pretty mouth. Don't you do it.
Put this alcohol in me. Clean me up.
I said put alcohol in me.
Clean me up.
That's never cleaned up nothing. That's only made things worse.
So, they the police tell him, this is, Biloxi PD. And we just need to get with you so we can get the baby from you. They recording the whole thing now.
Right. With the body cam.
He going off on them. And F y'all. Oh, and then he started telling her, and you stupid. You really called the police? Nah, you didn't fucked over yourself and the baby. And your baby. That's what he told her. The police have recorded this entire conversation. They're patting their chest and their recorders saying, we got it. We got it. They're so proud of themselves that they got this recording. That happened and she got her baby back. When they got the baby back, she called his sister to be a, median.
Yeah, a bridge between two sides.
The sister came out screaming and crying. Please make the police go. Please make the police go. If the police is here when he comes, he told me he's gonna hurt himself and the baby. And then my cousin was like, well, that's even more reason for me to stay right here right now. Like, I shouldn't leave. I shouldn't leave him. So the police heard that. The police heard, well, I'm in St. Louis. I've been here since January. The past year, there was this thing called, well, they have named it the I-10 murder. Basically, a man killed his family, a baby included.
Damn.
And he told the police on the phone, it's going to be another I-10 murder if y'all confront me or mess with me. And it didn't happen that day, but 7 days later it did. So they was able to get the baby from him and they sent him to a mental hospital. So I guess if you don't have insurance or if you do, the max that they could keep you is like 72 hours, right? 6 hours later, he was released.
You can play it off. Like, I mean, it's for you to be so mentally gone that you can't play to get out, like within a couple hours, like all you do is answer the question, play nice. As he's stewing inside in this mental institution, but they only got so many hours they can keep you. You're not showing red flags. It's just it's the business. They can't just hold people in these forever.
Well, go ahead and teach me something because I need to know when I'm going to deal with these powers.
Now every state is different, so I can't say what Missouri is compared to New Orleans. But Mississippi, but like if you go in a psych situation, they don't have a way to prove that you are a level of what's that saying? A level of danger to yourself and others.
Right.
They'll let you go. It's an observation period. If you don't do nothing that hour, they let you go. But inside you brewing and you made your decision that you chose violence, but you got enough sense to play along and get out. That's where we at, because if they can't prove, how can I justify this bill? Because you cost them money. Right. Somebody got to pay for this. So what we going to do? And that's the flaw in the system, because we should be able to get to these people before they get to that point.
Right.
And get, make mental awareness and mental health and therapy a part of the medical system, like you do in other insurance.
Definitely. Oh, I love it.
It should be more of that. It shouldn't be such a fear like, you going to therapy, bitch, because I'm crazy. Yes, I'm going to therapy because if I don't, I'm fucking you up. Like this, some playful shit, but like, I've been going to therapy since college. Just because I like to talk about my friends' crazy ass lives and get my inspect on my shit. You know what I'm saying? If I don't spend enough time, if it's not therapy through a person, it's reading books about people and information to really understand the craziness of human nature within the confines of human civilization and what doesn't go naturally, what kind of animals we are. It makes certain things, okay, that makes sense, because it's not, I can't believe this. I can't believe what? Like, why ain't nothing new? Same shit, the same human shit's been happening since the Egyptians, Romans, wherever. Still the same shit. It just, we got better technology than them, that's all. But it's still the same human envy, anger, rage, all the emotions have always been there as long as we've been human beings. But once you understand that everything's not so foreign, it's the fear of the unknown, because we choose to be not vulnerable to be wrong. You have courage to say, I fucked up.
Right.
And don't give niggas shit when they fuck up. You fucked up. Cool. But we strong enough to, I'm just fucking with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And some people you can't play everybody the same way. Also, everybody can't be saved. You know what I'm saying? You got to do the best you can, but don't kill yourself trying to do it, because they ain't kill yourself for you. It's like people that go to work and work these crazy hours and I said, what you doing for you? Like, what are you working on for you to be your shit? Because guess what? They really you going first, buddy. Like you killing yourself working these hours up around, but like, we gonna take care of you. Life is short, but it's long. But don't waste no time.
Right. I man, after that day, we talked that night, and she, well, first of all, people probably be like, what? I was upset with her, right? I was upset with her because I text her and she's like, oh yeah, no, she texts me, she's like, I'm by my mom. Now we could text, but she doesn't know what happened. Now this man just did the most right now. And your grandma don't know what happened. But you're sitting in your grandma's face, you're sitting in her house, your whole energy, your whole aura, everything that just you went through right now, you got it in her house. And she don't know. She texts me, she's like, I don't want her to be concerned until it's something.
So let me ask this question. Do y'all feel what at what point do you think at what point could have been an opportunity to stop it before she got so attached and so accustomed to the chaos to where nothing of logic worked, and she couldn't walk away? What was the incident that you think if you can go back in time and step
that
in?
first incident when I was right there, because I'll say it. I said it once this past weekend, and I could say it again. Like the rage that I had towards him when I spoke to him about, and I was speaking to her and him, hollering to the top of my lungs. Like if I could have grabbed him and I would have did something. She that night but you know what I did?
What's that?
I don't want to say I'm extreme, but I deal with certain things certain ways for my mental health. And I literally was like, you don't gotta bring me back to New Orleans, but I'm about to get the F from around you. I was like, I'm leaving. And I did. You know, even just this past weekend, her mom was like, I remember when y'all weren't talking, because we talk every day.
Now, do you think if you'd have changed your delivery, it would have had different impact on the situation? Or like, say, if you had a moment again, what would you do different that would make this outcome not be a reality? If that was the first early red flag between them and you was there for it, what do you think you could have done? What do you think you could have done?
Told her dad. Yeah, the men in my family are, I'm talking about higher than this house, the ceilings, the walls, the top of the chimney. They're upset. They're very angry.
Because they didn't know?
Yeah, and they feel like other people knew, and they feel like these things should have been mentioned. And
yeah, you gotta bring dads involved if you get one. You know, it's just because y'all can't speak men. No matter how bad y'all are as women, you still are women, and no one speaks man but man. And man got to do men things when men want to be men. And sometimes trying to, you know, like I'm saying, that we get back to the masculine, feminine sort of expectations and natural, you know, balance of that on that wheel. Sometimes you gotta get out the way. You know, sometimes you saving somebody is actually doing more hurt than helping. You know,
right.
Sometimes you gotta punch a nigga in the face, and that punch in the face then could have saved some bullets at the end. We don't know, but you know, we gotta step out the way and let it be handled where it gotta go at. Right. You know, that's mine. That's one of mine.
When I think of, for real, because I'm always on 1,000. Like, and so as soon as that happened, I was like, I was about to start hyperventilating. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that situation. I can never forget it, but I can never also forget the feeling that he gave me. Like right then and there, I knew that if something was to go further or something like that, I felt threatened by him. Like, you know, he would have did me something for real. And I'm like, wait. So I'm going off on both of them. And when I'm start going off on him, I just look at like, he looking like, you know, and so now.
I mean, what man gets rocks off being tough with women?
Right.
Be tough with some men. If you a tough guy, you know, don't run up and shoot up some people and then leave. No, wait for the cops to come and shoot back. That's what really. That's if you're gonna do it, let's go do it. Preferably do yourself first and leave us the fuck alone. Preferably, if you want to go, bye, but leave everybody else the fuck alone. Don't do some crazy shit. Then you out of here. Nah, bitch, you start up with yourself. Look inside. Put that bullet inside you first,
for real,
and say the rest of us is fucking headache.
Y'all, my cousin was so amazing. I looked up to her in so many different aspects, like mother, like sister, like daughter. Like she was an event planner. She was a wedding planner. She had her own business. Like I looked up to her in so many ways. But she told me that night, she's like, yeah, she tells me everything the police told her and you know how to move forward. And she told me, y'all, the girl. She's like crying on the phone. I'm like, for real, that's my big cousin. That's the big sis, but I'm really big cuz, big sis. I'm really shutting shit down. Like what you crying? This how I'm talking to her. Like, what you crying for? Like, I'm like, man, she said, she's like, Arielle, I don't want to be the woman to put a black man in jail. Oh no, I'm telling you, I was like, girl, he wasn't fucking worried about this when he was doing this. He wasn't worried about that when he was doing. I said, you serious? I said, I don't care about your feelings. This is what I told him. This was like, she wasn't mad with me because we had talked 7 days later with love and affection. And it was, she wasn't mad with but I was like, I don't care about your feelings. I was like, you got to do this to them little boys. That's exactly what I said. And I know that I'm not even saying it how I said it because I was on the phone, and I'm gonna tell you, she wasn't gonna do the protective order. She wasn't, because when she cried to me that night and told me how she was feeling, she was serious. She went through situations where she saw her brother go in and out of jail, and she felt a way about that in the system, and she felt a way about that to her core, to the point where years later in her own situation, she's like, I don't want to have this man go through what I saw my brother go through, regardless of who was right or who was wrong. But at this point, I was like, yeah.
So where does accountability come in then?
Right. And you know what I told her? I was like, at this point, if you want Dio to be, what you want? You want him to be beaten ass too? Well, that's what. Go ahead and do that. That's how I'm talking. I'm like, first of all, he's got trauma, not just from now, but from previous. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm telling. Before they move,
normalizing chaos, and the chaos cannot be normalized. You can't thrive in chaos.
But you know what? The fucking truth, like, you know what I'm saying? We got a problem with the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a problem with the truth.
The truth is it hurts because it's the truth, but fuck, I hate the truth. But give me some, call it what it is, not what it ain't. I'll get over it. It'll heal it'll make me better for it. But just don't sugarcoat me. Tell me what you want. Strong verbs, short sentences. Let's get to it. Fuck it.
I ain't gonna lie, that's it. That just go to show you the kind of person she was. Like, she wasn't no dummy by fault, for real. Yeah. But for her to sit up there and be like, you know what, systematically,
like she shot him bail. Like women will find a way to justify the worst and not hold people accountable. And men take advantage of that, especially small men. They will take advantage of women that allow it. And it's predatory. I know which one I can pull some shit over with. I know which ones I can't right now. But either way, I'm man enough to leave her alone. I know I'm on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm here for, and she gonna fucking fall over some other shit, and I ain't gonna do that to her. So I'm gonna leave her fuck alone. Because I know I'm coming on some bullshit, but it takes a lot of examples in time with your own voices to get there. We always doing a bunch of bullshit or wrong shit. Or you just don't have a focus or purpose. So maybe something happened where it broke a opportunity to be better than you or experience things. So you get comfortable and find a way to thrive in chaos. And that's the worst thing to thrive in. Why you want to keep hell going? But it's all I know. So I look for people that allow me to continue living my personal hell outside with you. I think it's the vodka kick in, guys. I get real philosophical when I get my cocktails.
Do it. Keep going.
But yeah, like that stuff has to be addressed and be able to communicate. I learned just dealing with people, like everybody don't communicate the same way. Everyone have the same word bank as you. So.
And then we call it love language too. Like
that's the better you know yourself, the better you know how the people to treat you.
Right.
You'll spend time learning, and you'll spend time embracing what you love and saying fuck those that don't like it. You're gonna have a hard ass time because if you can't please yourself, if you can't fuck you, how can I? If you can't please yourself, how can I? So you looking to find yourself in another person is the worst thing to do. You ain't gonna never find it. They might know their own goddamn selves. Now you have 2 lost hoes on the road.
Our last messages were a lot about, well, you know what? It had been 7 days. The day after that incident happened, she hit me up the next day and was like, I gave her space because I be on asses. Like white on rice. I be on asses. Like, did you brush your teeth this morning? Like, I'm up I gotta work at 5 a.m. So
why she spank her hand like that? I felt the type of way.
I'm up at 5 a.m. and then I work 2 other jobs outside of my 5 a.m. shift, you know? So it's like I'm up with the birds, and if you up, we up together, because that's how it was. Like, I'm up. Yeah. And I gave her some time the next day because I know I understood the magnitude of where she was coming from and how serious she was about not wanting to press those charges. So I gave her some space.
Yeah.
And I gave her space. Well, the next day she called. It was like 9:30. I'm like, well, what's going on? She's like, yeah, I'm inside. I was like, girl, you don't think you want to be getting up? Well, yeah, I'm going to go. I was like, you better get up before they fucking let him out. And about like...
Man, so much energy.
Yeah, too much. About 11:30, 12 o'clock, she was hitting me up like, it's done. I pressed the charges. Paperwork's done. I was like, okay. Well, that day, we talk again. And she tells me like, yeah, his dad dealt with schizophrenia. She has a brother. And I may be incorrect about this, but my whole life, I'm 29. As long as I've understood where it might be, it was always schizophrenia, you know? So if that's the diagnosis of, it's not, but that's what I heard from within my family. But guess what? Families don't be telling them, they don't be having the right diagnosis and all that, so it's not 100%
Niggas always got answers to medical shit, but never go to the doctor. What's gonna be, guys? Y'all can't be motherfucking medical experts, never go to a goddamn doctor. Niggas always got answers on some shit, but never ain't been to a doctor or a therapist or none of that shit. But they quick to say what some shit is.
When she told me that, I said, my words to her was, y'all, I don't know where I come from. That girl told me, I was like, why would you mate with him? That's what I told her. And she's like, I just found this out. That was the day after, the day she put the charges. Because you
didn't dig. That's why you didn't want to find it out.
Right.
You didn't ask right questions.
Well, at that time, when she pressed those charges, they basically explained to her that wasn't his first occurrence with domestic violence, running in with the law like that. And his first kids, the mother of his first 2 kids, she had been through the same situation. They started telling her, we should tell you what happened, you know what I'm saying, in the past, and they've disclosed it to her. So like these last couple of days, she was learning stuff about him that she really never knew.
Yeah. I'm never mad with a woman that want to talk to me and want to dig me up. Go ahead, dig.
Right, okay.
I ain't got shit.
So
it's gonna turn you more on how much shit you ain't gonna find.
For real though.
I ain't got shit. This is it. Go ahead, have fun, baby. Let me know what I don't know, because I know I'm cool. I'm good everywhere I go. But once again.
But at this point, like I guess the last conversations that we had, because that was a week before the last conversation. We spoke Saturday, almost all day Saturday, and then the wee hours of Sunday morning, like 3 something Sunday morning, this situation happened. And Saturday, I could see I remember we took a picture. I took a picture of her. I was FaceTiming her and the kid and the baby. So I screenshot the picture like, I don't know what made me do that. But when I look at my sister, like when I look at her, I see her smile and stuff like that. And people probably wouldn't know, but like when I look at the picture, I see like everything, And when I look back at that really, we wasn't doing nothing but singing the whole Saturday morning. We had like 90s R&B on, singing, just like, So that was the vibe. We really didn't have no downs, no lows that morning. And she told me she was packing because she and I grew up in Salt Lake City, Utah. Back in the 90s, or maybe like right before 2000.
Excuse me, man. Hold on.
Salt Lake City jazz. Okay.
That was a joke, guys. She will not do that in here. No, she won't do. Let me give you some round. She got jokes.
To all my Salt Lake City fans, please excuse him. Please.
First off, how did you niggas get to Salt Lake City?
All right, so my aunt worked for the airlines. We had her older brother. I mean, go ahead and give y'all this little. Her older brother was shot in our neighborhood when we were kids.
In Utah?
In New Orleans, because this one is what made us go to Utah.
Okay.
Her older brother was shot at the heart. Survived. His mom moved them away. They moved to Salt Lake. They were working for the airlines. My mom went out there. Another cousin was out there. Well, my mom was a city girl. We were there for 9 months. the funny thing is, the people, my cousins in New Orleans, them 9 months came and left. They probably didn't even remember that I was gone. They don't even remember these 9 months that have impacted my life so much because I dealt with I was a kid, you know.
So y'all went to New Orleans. I mean, I went to
Salt Lake City
for 9 months and went where after that?
Back to New Orleans. Me and my mama. My mama was a G.
She could. That's why you can't stay in the country because she couldn't either. Didn't we start off with this? The apple don't fall far from trees. That's why you can't. That's
always going back to the city. Thing about her is she ain't leave yet again. Me, I'm just bouncing, always going back home.
So these 9 months, I say it don't take a lot of time to make an impact on lives.
It don't.
It don't. Especially when it's something that is different. You know, like when I volunteered with my big brother, big sisters back in there, like my goal was like, okay, we're going to St. Charles. We're going to do shit like other places where the world is bigger than fucking your front porch. And these motherfucking broken ass, all these damn domestic vehicles missing fucking hubcaps. Like, let me show you the other part of the world that we're also in there. Like, there's black people everywhere doing dumb shit. Now, they all can't come to the barbecue, but you know, they're showing you what can be done. It's hard for you to dream or manifest something you've never seen. It's just a human thing. Agreed. I have to see somebody kill something to say, oh, I can be a killer too, or whatever that thing is. But if you're not exposed to different things, how can you dream it? You don't have to dream of being a dope boy, a basketball player, or a rapper. Because why? Because that's what you see. But if you go around motherfucking HVAC technicians and motherfuckers doing something that speaks to their spirit, yeah, this everywhere. They need you. You the sauce. Remember, when you get these motherfucking Mayo rooms, you are the sauce. Sauce that bitch up. But learn though. Don't just get in there and do most. Like, learn how this shit work, then fuck it up. Right. But I need to hear no that. That was a PSA for exposure.
And then learn.
Get outside. First. Like, we got outside. It was me being me in the bar, and look where we at now. Right. You know, it's one of those things. Like, you just got to do what's feel best and let the rest of it take care of itself.
Yeah.
I cut you off about
Yeah, I remember, but I remember hearing her tell me, like, she straight up told me, and you know, she came out of nowhere with it, and she's like, yeah, you know, this is how she said, like, I'm saying verbatim. She's like, yeah, you know, I'm not scared like he gonna kill me or nothing. That was her words to me on Friday evening. And I was like, I heard what you said. I'm like,
the point you had to say it is a red flag. Like, I don't have to say I'm worried about you killing me because I don't have that fear. I don't have that feeling. Like, I would never say it. Like, you don't feel the way about me because I don't make you feel you have to say, like, he cool, but he ain't gonna kill me. But why would you even feel you to say that? That's a context clue that we need to follow up on, but everyone doesn't.
But for me, I was like, wait, what do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, so you know what, like, I just got back to this because she was going to Salt Lake City to bring her boys for the summer. Her boys' father still lived there. And they were going to Salt Lake.
How many kids she have in total?
3. Okay. So her 2 oldest boys' dad live in Salt Lake, and they were going for the summer. And the cool thing is, she was into music. You know, she did all these amazing things. She worked with Snoop Dogg, and, you know, like, she was into a lot. And,
Snoop Dogg.
Okay. Our other cousin in Salt Lake had a music festival that weekend, and she was headed to Salt Lake City. So I don't know if he found out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he found out, but he broke into the house. That was his first. You know what I'm saying? So you already came like you know, but that's what happened. He wasn't invited. He broke in, and
so going forth, and I'm gonna ask some questions about you and your history with men and in the negative sense. So, have you ever made it this far down the road with a significant other to where you felt it could have came to this point, or did you get out before it even escalated to that level? What's your highest escalation of domestic violence for you personally?
The highest. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you personally, but I don't think I have a very short tolerance. So like, I don't even like to repeat myself. And that's my daddy fault. My daddy was like, you know, if a man is interested in what you have to say, if he asks you a question or if you're talking to him and telling him something, if he is concerned, he's going to remember those details. And you know what? When I started having more positive relationships with men, I started implementing that way of thought. when I started thinking like that, people were like, it was just this magnet type of energy. Like people respected it because we was on the same frequency. You know what I'm saying? Like now when it come down to people who when I'm not thinking like that and I get these little, these situations where like people are like, what? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, that's a red flag for me. Like this is a standard for me. I don't like to repeat myself. So, but in the event that I do have to repeat myself, be mindful that I don't like to repeat myself, right? Like, look, I know what you like and what you don't like, but I did forget that one detail. What was the name of the bar? Moving forward, and then I'm like, all right, I appreciate you acknowledging the fact that this is bothersome to me.
You telling me I get one chance to hear you the first time?
Now I'm gonna be real. I'm not hauled up like that. But what I am saying is, when it comes to important facts,
you've been with me. I actually actively listen to you.
But that's it.
Yeah, I actively listen because I'm listening to understand, not to reply. Right. You speak to motherfuckers that listen for something to reply to. Not,
they don't never remember.
Right, because they listen to. Right, they're looking for them to say something for them to be. They're looking for something in what you're saying for them to react to make you remember them instead of listening to what you're saying.
Feel it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yep. I don't like to repeat myself. I got little bitty things, that's big old things, but they're little bitty.
So you don't. So what's the most like a motherfucker yelled at you, or maybe what was the highest level?
I've been physical. My parents were physically abusive to one another and verbally and mentally.
So it was not normalized, but
my grandparents, my dad, my grandfather, he was buried with a bullet in his body from my grandmother. They had bullet holes in the wall at my house in the 7th ward from my grandmother shooting at him.
Shit, that's not healthy, guys.
And guess what? It wasn't. It wasn't. And I've never sat down with my family to discuss. Like, I don't know what my mama been through when them bullets was going through the house. You know what I'm saying? Till this day, she never said, you know what, I like that shit scared me. You know, she never said like, every time I see these bullet holes, she never said anything about it.
Has anybody ever asked her?
I haven't. And you know what? Like, these are now conversations that I'm being open to.
Sometimes we gotta be bigger than our parents, man. Yeah. I hate it too. Like me and my mom, we're very functional. We're functional. That's my mom. I'm her son. And we get in conversations maybe about like work or some shit. But like we never get into no like deep philosophical levels of conversation because I know she's not built for that. She has no interest in it. I've learned enough.
You accepted that? Like that's one of the hardest things in life for me.
I fell in love with my mom when I realized like I love her for who she is, not who I want her to be. And some people you gotta be accepting of them, but that's who they are. Like you gotta understand all the things she came around and where she's at now. Her husband almost my age. Her husband's 30. Not even 48. 48. So like, and they've been married happily 15 years. So something she done something right because she's comfortable in her position and on her feet. Maybe I want more. I want to do more as I'm trying to do more, but I can't be mad at her that she cool where she at. Like that stability that she chose lets you do some shit you doing. Right. Because I ain't worried about moving all the time or like a lot of chaos that a lot of adults are living with as normal. Where I'm like, that's not normal, fam. I mean, women that's aesthetically pleasing, but like she wants hell and high water. I'm like, I'm a sunny day on the beach. Like, right. Damn, I hate to let you go, but I'm sorry. Like, I can't. I won't allow it. You know what I'm saying? So, that kind of stuff where it was a hard time. Like, well, my mom come to my sporting events. I'm like, nigga, she has to work, bruh. Right. You comparing her to a two family white home in Brentwood, sir. Calm down. That's a black woman. She doing the best she can. Right. I had to understand. I had to put some context clues. Oh, I'm tripping. You better be happy that house is quiet and the AC on and something in that motherfucker grocery in that motherfucker thing. You better be blessed, son. It took some tears and some conversations, but I figured, oh God, thank you, ma. But you only can do that kind of retrospective investigation when you have space and peace to do it, and the time to sit down and shuffle and relax. Look at some shit. Just look at some shit. Let your mind do its job in a peaceful way. And sometimes people have a hard time hearing their own voices, so you gotta stay around distractions. Fall in love with the peace, not the distractions.
I like that. I like that one. Let me repeat it. Fall in love with the peace and not the distractions.
Distractions exciting. Don't get me wrong. It's fun, but it's not worth it. Right. Don't live there. Just visit. Don't live there.
But yeah, I don't. I feel like everything become. That's domestic. That's a domestic situation. Everything. Everything to me. Well, I have been physically.
I
didn't fall.
You had to put your hands on some men's.
I didn't fall, and I didn't.
She said fall.
I didn't fall. The long fight, for real. I did. And my nanny on here viewing. I love you, nanny, but my uncle, he had a niece, and she left maybe 3 kids behind.
Damn.
Because her boyfriend and her had a fight, and he hit her in the head, and she never woke up.
Oh my God.
So I didn't tell that to somebody, and they did it to me.
Oh Lord.
Luckily, I woke up. But people know what you went through and hear what you went through, and
yeah, man. Trust is nasty. This whole man-woman thing is nasty, but you can't fall in love without it. Ain't that sad? You can't fall in love without the vulnerability of trust. You can't get the peace and the satisfaction that I've seen that's attainable unless you let the right motherfucker in. But it's gonna take some lessons to be learned to find the right motherfucker. You gotta keep growing. It might not be at the level you want him to be at. You might want to find him at 25. You might find him at 35, but don't fuck it up.
Okay.
Don't make it 35. Like keep doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Right. But I'm calling all them red flags out, y'all. I'm gonna have to do it. I want to take it down a notch because I'm telling you, it's on 10. It's on 10.
So give us your red flags.
It's a vibe. First of all, the vibe. As soon as I say something that offends you, I'm not trying to offend you, but it might be something that pull at your heartstrings and it'll offend you, and I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? But you rightfully so may be offended by what I say or do.
Yeah.
And it's, you might even not have no facial expression, but I don't need no facial expression because I feel a vibe. Like that vibe, it feels like a threatening vibe. Like
right. How dare you? Instead of like, okay, like I don't know what my triggers are. I gotta figure those out. I know I gotta have some, but I know how to articulate and process a triggering occurrence.
Okay, but that's the thing. We're not processing.
No, they react on emotion, not working through that emotion. Because you gotta first acknowledge you have emotions.
That part.
Yeah, if you can't acknowledge your emotions that rule your world, you being ruled by your emotions, fool. Like you being counterproductive because you're not recognizing what is part of you. It's okay,
right?
And that's what's keeping you from. That's why you make emotional decisions because you haven't come to terms with your emotions. This is another fucking Monday.
Another fucking Monday.
AFM, baby.
Yep.
All right, what's your red flag? Give us the top 5.
Those vibes. And it's aggravation, really. I think that's what it is. Lack of patience. Lack of patience right now. It's all the way at the top. Lack of patience. If you don't have no patience for nothing, it's at the top because ain't no telling what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? By the time you capsize out of your level is just going up and up. Ain't no you have but you can see that. And then that's gone with the lack of patience and then the lack of emotion or, the lack of wanting to feel the emotions. And when you lack in the want to feel those emotions.
Lack of vulnerability.
Now you can't even communicate because you're not even communicating what's really bothering you. You're not even opening up to what's really hurting you.
You can't learn if you're not opening up. Like you can't receive with closed walls. Like you got to open the gate.
But you know what it is?
Tell it, girl. Tell it. Yes.
It's like with these ladies, what we really doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be real. Like, my cousin was a real one. But I know she ain't go down without a fight.
Right.
But I know that it was a lot of things, like, some things like, wait, you could have said this because it's a fact. Like, it's not like burning no bridges. Like, what you're saying is the truth. Not to hurt, but it would hurt. Maybe it might open up some eyes, but what you're saying is the truth. But you refrain from saying it because you don't want to hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, like, how they gonna heal without having to deal with the mirror?
You can't hear what you won't reveal.
And then we do this thing, too. Like, like, we don't want to be... I'm like a open book, for real. I'm gonna be real. I didn't cheat it. And guess what I did right after I cheated?
I didn't say I
cheated one time, but I'm about to tell you what I did after I cheated.
Go ahead.
After I cheated, you wanna know what I did? Well, I'm gonna be real with you.
Don't tell me you went home and told him.
Duh.
That's some bullshit. Cheat on me, don't tell me shit. If you care about me, don't tell me. Nah, that's selfish shit.
That ain't
no, selfish. That's some bullshit. Why'd you cheat then?
Okay, you ready? You ready for this?
Why'd you? Did I do something to make you cheat? Are you just cheating on because you just wanted to cheat?
Man, no, you ain't even hearing what I'm saying. First of all, let me go ahead.
I found my trigger. Clearly, cheating is a trigger for me. I haven't been cheated on, but I got questions.
You ready for what happened?
Yes.
My ex and I, we were living together. We had an altercation. He left the home. Our home. 1, 2, 3. Living together, fought, left. I ain't put him out. He left. He was gone for 5 days. All right. I'm telling a little too much, but it's the truth because my book is open. He was gone for 5 days. It didn't take me 5 days to cheat. I could have called up somebody on my Facebook, Instagram live day one, but I didn't. And so, honesty moment. All of this is an honesty moment. He was gone for 5 days. Well,
honesty moment brought to you by.
On the 5th day, it was really the 4th day because he came back on the 5th day. On the 4th day, I reached out to somebody and I cheated. Well, guess what?
Question.
The heavens opened and he returned home on the 5th day.
Question. So this person.
The person I reached out to.
Now,
I ain't telling him we're gonna have to fight.
Can I have some follow-up questions?
Yes, you may.
So this person, now, what was your relationship with you and this person? Why was he so?
He been like me. He had been like me for years. What? He liked me for years. I pulled up the Facebook thing and started shooting my shot. Honest.
This is a PSA to all the young men dating women, all other men. If you know you got a bad one, or even an okay one, anything somewhere like, some of them you just can't worry about because you know what it is. But if you are being honest with yourself and you know you got a bad one, please believe. Believe. No, don't smother her. Let her be herself. Because you got there for a reason. So you won. Be a king and treat her as a queen. You have no problems. But believe you guys walk this earth. If you fuck up, it's a nigga waiting to get caught up like motherfucking Mission Impossible fucking agent. Like a Batman. Oh, it's my time. On the way.
Yeah.
And I say this as being one of those vagrants. Back in my other life. I kept a pager. They paged me. Gotta go. Boop, 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 boop. So please treat your good ones from, I say probably 6s and up. If she a 6 or above, please treat her well because it's a nigga that's real close to do that. That's it. You'll never see him and know him again. But please treat her well. And this is PSA.
Another fucking Monday.
Treat her well.
Yeah, so I did that and he decided to mosey on back home the next day. And I was like, stuck in my chair like, fuck, well, I gotta tell him because at the end of the day, I really want him. I really wanted him. Right. I really thought we were gonna have a future together. This is the first man that I talked about having kids with and the first man I talked about, marrying.
What happened to make it, why were you having so many moments to get to the moment where he felt the comfort to leave for the multiple days? What was you arguing about? And why was you arguing so much to make it?
Because we were young and I was very independent. And he also knew that I was taking a lot of the weight of the world on my shoulders, whether it be like household and stuff like that, taking care of anything he needed for his family, whatever it was.
So what was he bringing to the table if you're doing so much? So why are you with this person?
Because I thought it was like high school sweetheart type, and I was waiting on him to catch a break. He was supposed to catch a break. Man. He was supposed to catch a break. I was waiting on him to catch a break. Like I was waiting on him to catch a break.
You played the lotto, you lost. I got it.
Yeah, I did. I was waiting on him to catch his break. He came home the next day, and when he came and walked in the house, I was like, well, shit, if you wasn't ready before, I hope you're ready now. And I sat down on the sofa and I looked at him and I said, I gotta talk to you. Because
why? What did you, why? Why can't you just keep that to yourself and let's keep moving forward?
Because for me, now, okay, so my friends, trust me, my friends got on my ass.
So you agree it was selfish?
No, I don't believe it was selfish. I'm gonna tell you why.
It made you feel better. It made him feel like shit.
Well, it did make me feel better.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. Tell the truth. God damn it.
But that was the problem. If you can't accept, first of all, if you can't accept my truth, you don't need to be with me anyway. If you look, I always tell. I'm gonna tell you.
I didn't need to know that.
I'ma always say, but look, that should have killed me on the inside.
And you should, and it should. Like me cheating on you when I was going 5 days, I was fucking too.
I wasn't going for 5. Yeah, you was fucking too.
Yeah,
and
but I wasn't gonna tell you. I wasn't gonna tell you.
That's your problem. I'm gonna tell you
because I care about you. I care about your heart enough to not tell you what that shit I was doing for the last 4 or 5 days.
No, but for real though, like I love this man. Like, how am I gonna sit up here and have a whole? Like, I don't know. Other people could do it. My friends.
Loving me is saving me from knowing that shit. Don't
my friends still inquire about how I did it and why I did it. And I'll be like, bitch, and I'll do it again. I mean, not that I'm going to cheat again, but when I cheat again, if I do, I'm going to say I did it again. Because I need him to know, like, I'm going to work. We're going to work through this. If you're going to be here, work through it with me. I got some problems. I didn't been addicted to intimacy. It was 5 whole day 3, I was probably in the house like, I never really been able to like.
So once again, what got y'all to that point where he felt that was?
We were both frustrated. He was feeling. I had the upper hand.
Right. Okay.
He was feeling I had the upper hand.
Ego.
And we were living in a house that my family had given me.
Ego. Yeah, I get it.
But I was all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't washing dishes and wash these fucking dishes. I've been at work. I wasn't doing that. Like,
what was he doing? What was the break he was looking for?
Music.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I got it. I get it. That's just male frustration, ego shit, which I completely understand.
But you know what my cousin told me before she left? The week before last, we was having this whole conversation, and she was telling me like, just love. She was like, no more, no less. She was like, that's the one thing that I didn't do in this relationship, and I can take accountability for it. She's like, no more, no less. Just give love too.
Yeah, so much communication has to be done to love people the way that everyone doesn't receive love the same way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, like I said, love language is a good barometer to get a good idea. But like some people are a combination of shit, and what's so important. Like everyone loves. I think everyone, for the most part, unless you're like a psychopath, likes the intimacy of touch. Intimacy isn't always a sexual thing. Intimacy is just laying on the couch with my elbow touching your elbow.
Real life. Bullshit. I just smell your breath.
That's it. It ain't gave me nothing too much. Like, hey, you spray your motherfucking shoes? Like, baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I spray these shoes. I've been fucking up some time. That's intimacy. Those are the moments of intimacy. So we get too attached to it. Always been a sexual thing, but like just being in the house, just vibing and we ain't saying shit. But that's intimacy that gets lost in when it's so good. When those moments happen, that's what you keep remembering, but not thinking like that moment should be a more continuous thing, but it happened so long ago because not everybody know how to use the right words and language to communicate the frustration. So if it's frustration as a man not being able to provide something I can relate to is one of my issues too, but like I'm a psychopath. But the point is sometimes you get so deep with another human being, you can't provide in the way you want to. You don't know how to express it because you can't talk to your boys because they don't know how to do shit either. And you don't know how to get that understanding. Like, man, I really believe in my art, but my art right now ain't fucking with reality. And my girl hold me down and she bad and I'm under the gun. But if you don't know how to put that together because of either fear or don't know how to be in a safe space, for lack of a better word, to get it out, you gonna get it out one way or the other. You choose your explosion. You choose your events because you don't have to do it. You're gonna do it in the worst way and then doing that shit or more healthy way. But if you've never seen the healthy way, how do you know it's healthy?
You want to know what I did when I stopped fighting his ass? Cause like when shit'll get rough, I just be like, "Oh," with that Kevin Hart. I'm like, fuck. Like I started taking and breaking my china. That was my form of therapy. I go into my yard and like we fuss and I'd be like, you know what? I'm not gonna fucking hit him. I'll make him think I'm crazy.
So now that's your younger days. Where are we at now? I
love to communicate. Communicate is my best form of intimacy. Communication. Like I love it. I love to express. And so like right then and there, if I gotta express myself and I notice that someone's not listening or they really can't like perceive like what level of, thinking I'm on and everything, I'm already like it's will never communicate me fully. And like, if I've already grown a relationship with you and I've already expressed myself, and now I'm dealing with, tragedy or whatever like that. And now,
I mean, the best communicators are the ultimate listeners. Like, if you, the people that can
well, that part right there, that's what they don't know how to do. Too many people don't know how to do that. Because as soon as you start talking, they start talking with you. Like, I didn't literally have somebody tell me, I didn't think about this stuff until you started saying it, and I know it's your turn, but you make me think about, oh, well, shit.
Because they listen to reply, not to understand. Like, I love listening. Even when it's some bullshit, I love listening.
Listening with your heart is a thing as well.
I mean, we ain't going that far, but I'm gonna put it to a filter. Everything can get to my heart now. And some things just ain't good for my heart. So I'm gonna listen and see if it's some bullshit or not. But if it has some value, and I can pull up follow-up questions, then we can get close. I know I ain't everything ain't, maybe women might let women get to my heart. Maybe.
I'm just such a lover. I be like, what happened?
Yeah. I ain't that much. I'm like, hey, look. Won't he do it? That's
That's what's up.
My love on the budget. I'm a Capricorn. So everything is a thought. But I love being loved on. I love loving, I do. But look, I got these instructions, and I love communicating. Let's talk about it, because we're gonna figure some shit out. This is a mental exercise. I've been training for these days, but once again, everybody ain't built for it, and also not necessarily not built for it, but like every place ain't the right place to have those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to read the room.
Yeah, and
be patient too. Like, I'm learning, especially in the entrepreneurial business and just the human business, like, things take time. When you choose to not be a 9-to-5 person, when you choose to sort of figure out what you're going to do, whatever that is, if it's just to find a level of art and just meet people that like it or whatever, are you really going to buy into what you're trying to create and make it a business? Either way, it's about patience and loving what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, loving what you're building and understanding how important your time is, and things takes time. Like, I hate the cliches like Rome wasn't built overnight. True, but neither was Egypt. It took a couple times to get the pyramids right. You know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy it. Some days just breathe and smell the flowers.
Patient and love is kind.
Yeah, like I saw a question today. Is it wrong if you talking to somebody, but you smash somebody else to you and a person you're talking to, like, choose to make it something? I say no, it's fine to me, because we're dating, we're figuring each other out. Like, you might be the girl I'm living today, but me and her cool. We have understanding until we together. I'm gonna get this off. Once we choose to make it about us, now I gotta cut our ties.
Right.
That's just being a human fucking being. We all got them shits. So I'm not gonna be. You got whoever you got. Cool. But once we make it say, hey, we're here. This is us. We gotta cut the bullshit out. Unless we agree to do some bullshit that allows that. But at first, let's get the terms. It's negotiation again.
Right.
And you should always revisit the negotiation, revisit the contract, because hopefully we're growing within this union.
Yeah, because that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so we revisit. Okay, maybe we like having a little extra shit. So let's figure out how that works. Like, I had a girl ask me about kids. I'm like, well, I'm not pressed to have kids. I think I'd be a great father, but I want to make sure we agree on how we're going to parent if this don't work out. Like, what do you feel about school? How do you see this? If I move here, like, what all these logistics I keep hearing from people that go through without having a conversation, what do you feel is the proper education system?
Well, my issue is with that, just a piggy, like, I will probably may or may not even ask you about that. And like, when people ask me about kids, like, people like, you have kids, you want kids? I'm just like, well, you know what, kids, it's only for me.
If you don't fit, like, I gave you this motherfucking microphone, and you just gonna keep moving with you. I know. I still say, look here. I said, there it is.
For me, kids don't come unless marriage is there.
Absolutely.
Because to me, my marriage is gonna have some standards that's gonna make my kids have some standards.
I want to be married for a while before I had kids. I want to travel as a married couple for a couple of years. All right, we done a bunch of shit. Shit got done, and now I'm cool with being a dad. I've done all my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes sense to me.
No, I'm telling you, but before I have kids before I'm married, number one, he got to go talk to my daddy. I'm not telling no, I'm serious.
I know you were.
I'm not telling my daddy. He gonna go tell my daddy.
I'm not telling my daddy.
And hopefully he do it before 9 months come, because my daddy gonna be like, you getting back? I'm like, Dad, bro.
Fair. No way in hell. I'm like, hey, I'm on birth control too.
So out of respect for that situation, go ahead, handle your business first. Because if I end up pregnant, you're gonna go talk to me. And on top of that, like I don't want to be a bitter, bitter and pregnant. I don't want to be bitter and pregnant. Like,
you want to be an amazing journey. You don't want to extra bullshit.
I'll be bitter if I end up pregnant and I'm not married. That ain't gonna be nobody's fault, but mine for the most part. But that's why I'm not pregnant and I'm not married.
Preach. Well, round of applause. Out of ice, and man, I'm trying to wrap this up. All right, Arielle, give us some closing. How you feeling? What you think going forward?
Don't second guess yourself. Mm-hmm. Move when the spirit say move. Mm-hmm. Check on your people. Mm-hmm. Be genuine. That part. That's first.
Stand up. Like when call them out. I know it's hard to confront your friends when they doing some stuff and like you don't want to get involved, but if the spirits say get involved, and it might cost you that friendship, but maybe it might save a life.
Yeah.
So I'd rather do what's right and deal with the consequences than do what's wrong and keep seeing wrong being done. Mm-hmm. So at that point, like after that, I did my part. I did what I was supposed to do as a human being. Not even saying this as a friend. This is a human being when I felt wrong was being done. And then I'm going to continue to do right when it's over. If it costs me the friendship because you're not ready to hear the right, so be it. You gotta be willing. You gotta be willing to walk away, because when you walk away, your next level up is coming. When something goes from 10 back to 1, you at the new level, so you gotta start over again. Embrace that. Embrace that. Goddamn, back again. People like, oh man, I hate starting over. Why not? Bitch, like, I want to go back to the game. I want memory cards. You turn this shit off. The game's over. Like that's life. Like embrace the next level. I mean, you level up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
so that's what we doing.
Well, let me find me a couple Bible verses and get us up out of here.
Yeah.
I'm also give out the domestic violence support hotline, 800-799-SAFE. That's 7233. Also, again, 800-799-7233. That's the domestic violence support hotline, and the website is thehotline.org. So you might not have the words, but you can direct them to people that might. It don't hurt to try. It hurts not trying. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably stole it from somewhere. Well, see, if I thought I had a quote. I almost had a good ending. I almost did a good job, didn't I?
You're doing
I almost
great.
did a good job. All right. If love could be the road to happiness, but most times happiness is right to the doorstep of love, because only happy people can be in love. Once again, love is the road to happiness, but most times happiness leads to the doorstep. Not in the house, to the motherfucking doorstep. Because only happy people can be in love. Love yourself. Love each other. Love is all we got. And as a bonus, trust is lost in buckets, but gain in drops. We out of here.